Okay, we're going to run Dennis through the MAT CAM assessment. We're going to start, Dennis, with internal rotation of the hip. So I'm going to have you actively just move your hip in. Good, and relax. And again, actively. Good. We're going to compare that here with the right side. Rotate in. Definitely feels a little more restricted on the right, at least with this one. Excellent. Let's do one more. Good. We're going to do the same thing, internal rotation of the hip. I'm going to have you actively bring your leg out to about 30 degrees. Good, actively internal. Good, active internal rotation. I'm just looking at his hip and pelvis for any sort of compensatory mechanisms. Same thing, I'm going to have you actively bring out to 30 degrees. Give him a little support through here. Good. We're going to take him through all the internal rotation things first. Next one, I'm going to have you actively flex your hip to 30 degrees. I've got your support here. Actively internally rotate. Excellent. Same thing. Actively internally rotate. Good. Trying to make sure all the movements come from the hip. Same thing. In. Good. Definitely a little tighter on that right side. Good. Relax. We're going to take him to 30 degrees of flexion, then I'm going to have you bring your leg out 30 degrees, actively internally rotate. Excellent. Same thing, actively internally rotate. Good. 30 degrees of flexion, 30 degrees abduction, actively internal. Good. Same thing, actively internal. Excellent. And we're going to do the same thing with 30 degrees of adduction. So we're going to have you bring it in, actively internally rotate. Good. One more. Excellent. Good. Bring it in. Excellent. Good. Bring it in. Good. We're going to do the same thing into external rotation. So this time, Dennis, we're here at neutral. I'm going to have you bring your hip out to external rotation. Same thing, good. Externally rotate on the right. Good. Same thing, excellent. Bring you out at 30 degrees, same thing. External rotation, got quite a bit on the left side. Excellent. Same thing, support. Maybe a little more restricted on the right. Excellent. Hip flexion to 30 degrees. Externally rotate. Excellent. Good. Compare that to the right. Actively flex. External rotation. Good. External rotation. Same thing. Actively flex at 30. Abduct to 30. Externally rotate. Good. External rotate. Good. Now we're going to actively flex, adduct to 30 degrees, external rotate, externally rotate. Good. This whole time we're asking the patient to, if he's having any pain, externally rotate, and noting everything in our exam. Next thing, we are going to actively bring your hip up to 90 degrees. I'm going to have you internally rotate. Good. Providing him a little support. Actively internal rotate. Excellent. Same thing on the right. Up to 90. Good. He's got a little more mobility on the right side here. Going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to have you bring your foot and hip in this way, so we're going to actively externally rotate. Good. Good. And externally rotate. Excellent. From neutral. Good. While he's here, we're going to do a little figure four. Going to put him below the patella here, right on the tibial tubercle. Actively come down into my hand here, Dennis. Good. Same thing. active, excellent. Gonna be here. I'm gonna support him, actively external, good. Definitely missing some more mobility here, more strength. While he's here, again, I'm gonna have you actively come up to 90 degrees. Then I want you to extend into my hand. Try to straighten, good. And again, try to straighten, good. Same thing, actively flex the hip to 90 degrees, extend the knee, good. And extend the knee. Good. While he's here, we're going to look at active hip and knee flexion. Same thing, 90 degrees. Dennis, I want you to bring your foot, try to bring it down. Actively contract. Excellent. We're going to externally rotate. I'm going to have you just the tibia. I'm going to have you bring it down. Good. We're going to have you internally rotate, so bring that foot in towards me. Actively flex. Good. Same thing on this side. Start at neutral with the foot here. Actively flex, down in. Good. Try not to block him. Actively external rotate, flex. Good. Have him actively internally rotate and flex that knee. Excellent. We're going to flip him over now. We're going to look at active hip internal and external rotation in neutral. We'll look at the right side first. I want you to bring your knee up to 90 degrees, Dennis. I want you to actively internally rotate, so bring good to the outside there. I'm looking at his hip and pelvis, seeing if we're compensating. Good. Same thing on this side, actively internal. Good. And again, missing a little internal rotation on the left. Could do the same thing. I'm just going to bring him out just a little to make him more comfortable. I'm going to have you actively externally rotate, so bring that heel in. Good. Try to keep that neutral. Good. Same thing, give him a little abduction. Active. Good. And again. Excellent. Go look at hip extension in neutral here. I want you to actively flex your knee. Extend this hip up off the table. Good, and relax. And again. Good. Actively flex and then extend that hip. Good. I'm not helping them, just giving them a little bit of support. Excellent. Gonna flexion 90. I want you to bring this in to external rotation. Then I want you to extend the hip. Good. Same thing. Good. We'll look at external rotation, hip extension on the other side. Actively externally rotate. Extend. And again. A little bit less. And active internal rotation. So I'm going to have him internally rotate, extend the hip. Good. And again. Good. Same thing, actively internally rotate. Extend that hip, try to keep that pelvis down. Just the hip. Definitely tight through there. Let you flip back over, Dennis. That's it, Joe. Yep.